The bar hang is a great idea for any break-eating primate to do daily. So find a bar, hang on the bar, and totally loose here. Totally loose shoulders. You're extending the spine, decompressing the spine. You can wiggle around a little bit too, side to side. Try to keep your breathing relaxed. And when your grip gets tired, you can jump down. The toe touch is probably something everyone's already done, but we're going to add a couple of layers to it to make it much better. So keep your knees just barely unlocked. So not bent, but just barely unlocked. And reach down toward your toes, just naturally. Nice, not bad. So from here, what you want to do is clench your fists, clench your lats, clench your glutes, build up tension, and then let it all go. Now repeat that a few times. Tension, relaxation. Straighten your knees a bit more if you can. Try to keep them straight. Good. And again, tension, relaxation. Good. So if you can't touch your toes, if you end up somewhere like here, try this tension trick. Clench. It's a wonderful party trick. A lot of times you'll be able to get someone to touch their toes for the first time since they were a child. That's the toe touch. Prying goblet squat is exactly the same as the prying squat, except you have a kettlebell, which honestly usually helps it. It'll sort of help you sink down into the bottom. So you squat all the way down, elbows inside the knees, pry your hips and wiggle around. Make space in your hips. After about 10 seconds, stand back up and shake your legs a little. Get some blood flow back in the leg. And then down again. Pry the knees, wiggle. Up. The halo is a classic shoulder warm-up. I put it at the start of almost every workout that I write. So hold a kettlebell by the horns upside down like this. Keep everything still except for your arms and the kettlebell. Kettlebell just orbits around the head. So you don't want to duck your head underneath, because then you're just ducking your head and robbing your shoulder of some mobility. In the other direction. Good. The hockey deadlift is an amazing mobility drill for your posterior chain. And as you're about to see, it breaks all the rules of deadlifting. So it should only be done with a really light weight like you see here. Okay, you can pick up the weight. And what you're going to do is set the weight down by your left heel. So you're bending the back, you're breaking all the rules of deadlift. You're twisting with weight, you're bending, back up. And then alternate back and forth. Now by the right heel, exhale, inhale, and then back up. You just alternate back and forth like this. Try to keep your legs as straight as you can. Get tall at the top. Nice and tall here, good. Down to the left. Don't forget the exhale at the bottom. Hockey deadlift. The kneeling hip flexor stretch, fantastic mobility drill for opening up your anterior hip. So if you sit at a desk all day, you need this. And we've all seen this, right? You don't just lunge forward like this. This will do a little something, but not nearly as good as if we coach it correctly. So step your left leg forward, Mindy. Good. Now the first thing you do before you start the stretch is you posteriorly rotate your pelvis. That means aim your belly button up at the ceiling Squeeze your glute of your down knee. So squeeze your right glute, stay tall, and that's it. You're just staying tall, squeezing the glute. You feel your hip prying open. So there's effort here. This isn't just a relaxing stretch. This is an active mobility drill. You squeeze the glute, you rotate the pelvis, and you push your hips forward. Excellent. The arm bar is not only a thoracic extension mobility drill, it will greatly improve the stability of your shoulder. It will improve the usable range of motion at the shoulder girdle. So you start off on your back and roll over to the kettlebell. The setup is a lot like a Turkish get-up, so press that up. Right arm is overhead, right leg is straight down straight. First thing you do is push, push, push with this foot and roll over onto your side, flop the leg like a kickstand. Good. So when you're new to this, this will be where you stop. And at first your arm's gonna be jumping all around here going, what are you doing, what are you doing? The first stage of learning the arm bar is just getting used to that. Now once you're used to it, you can externally rotate this a bit and start creeping this arm back across the floor. Your goal is over time to face more and more face down. So let's see how face down we can get. You can slide this leg away from you, down. Keep sliding that leg down. At all times, the loaded arm should stay perpendicular to the floor, so it's not the weight pulling back. The weight's just here for proprioception so that you can tell if your arm's vertical or not. When you're done, roll out of that foot first and catch yourself with your foot. Nice and easy. Pull the weight down. And to get the weight to the other side of your head, please drag it on the floor, never over your face. The hack squat is named after legendary strongman George Hackenschmidt. So what you do, you can do this with a weight or with no weight. So we'll show you both versions here. If you're using a weight, you'll hold it behind your back, just right on your tailbone. Heels together and toes apart so your feet are shaped like a V. Stay real tall and pull yourself straight down. Nice and slow, no bouncing out of the bottom. Pause at the bottom, back up. Do about 5 reps here. If you have any current issues with your knee, avoid this drill. As long as your knee's healthy, this drill is really good for your knee, but you do kind of have to watch it if you have anything tweaky going on. For the Cossack squat, take as wide a stance as you can manage, and then drop down to one side, and then over to the other side. Let your toes point up at the ceiling, and take your time. Back and forth. You can use your hands on the ground to assist, that's no problem. The most important thing is to actually sink down into this. $10 to 20 reps total should be fine. The SOS get up is a cousin to the Turkish get up, and you don't really use it for strength development like you would with the Turkish get up. It's really just a pure mobility drill. It's a little bit funky, but let's just follow along. So you start as with the Turkish get up, and you roll to elbow as with the Turkish get up. Then here, you switch your feet like this. Rotate under, put your knee on the ground, continue rotating and put your other knee on the ground. Up to tall kneeling, up to the lunge position, stand, and then reverse it all. Back to the lunge, back to the tall kneel, rotate, put your elbow on the ground, leg, slide back through, fix your feet, back to your back. Let's see that on the other side. Elbow, scissor switch, sweep, both knees down, tall kneeling lunge, everything in reverse, back to the tall kneel, elbow down.